The silence of the hallway was broken only by the sound of your shadow, terrified breathing. Jungkook looked down at you, his dark eyes searching your face, trying to decipher this strange, fragile creature had literally fallen into his arms. Wine. I am wine, you stammered, your voice barely a whisper, your heart hammering against your ribs like a trapped bird. Jungkook's grip didn't loosen, his voice was a dog, a vibration that sends shivers down your spine. Who is Wine? Wine, I just arrived. Today was my first day. You managed to say, your eyes darting around looking for any way to escape the intensity of his gaze. Jungkook, ah, he exhaled, a cool realization settling in. The new maid. The moment he said the word maid, your survival instincts finally kicked in. You gasped, realizing he was touching the master of the house, the man everyone feared. You practically scrambled out of his arm, your face flushing a deep crimson. Wine. I'm sorry, master. Please don't be mad. I was just getting water. Both your head so low it nearly touched your knees, repeating you apologize in a frantic, rhythmic chant. Before Jungkook could utter a single word, you turned and bolted down the hallway, your barefoot pattering against the marble until you disappeared into the shadows. Jungkook stood there for a long moment, the scent of your something sweet like vanilla and rain still lingering on his clothes. A slow, lopsided smile pulled at his lips. He had never seen anyone run away from him like such a pure, unadulterated clumsiness. It was amusing. The following day was a blur of near disasters for you. You dropped a tray of crystal glasses, luckily catching it at the last second. You tripped over a rug while carrying laundry, and you almost watered the plastic plants in the hallway. By some miracle, you survived the day without getting caught by Mrs. Day. That evening, the atmosphere in the dining hall was suffocatingly formal. The Jeon family sat at the long table, while maids stood like statues against the walls, ready to serve. One maid poured wine, another adjusted napkins. Suddenly, Mr. Jeon set his wine glass down with a sharp clink. The room went deadly silent. Mr. Jeon, there will be a grand function here tomorrow night, he announced, his voice carrying the weight of an undisputed command. Mrs. Jungkookff, her interest peaked. Mrs. Jeon, a function? For what occasion, dear? Mr. Jeon gazed at his son, who was picking at his foot with a bored expression. Mr. Jeon, Jungkook had matured. His progress in the business has been exceptional. It is time we look toward the future. Tomorrow's event is for his marriage. Jungkook froze. He slowly lifted his head, his eyes turning into shards of ice. Jungkook, I'm not getting married right now. Mr. Jeon, I'm not asking you to marry a stranger tomorrow, he replied calmly, though there was a warning in his tone. I haven't selected a girl to force upon you. Instead, I have invited our colleagues, friends, and business partners. They will bring their families. We simply have to choose one night, Jungkook. That's all I ask. Mrs. Jeon, it would be wonderful, Jungkook, she added softly. Please don't say no this time. Jungkook's jaw tightened. He knew his father's requests were actual mandates. There was no exit. Fine, he muttered, his voice dripping with suppressed rage. Mr. Jeon, good. I knew you would understand, he said, a satisfied smile appearing on his face. Then he turned his gaze toward the staff. Mrs. Day. Mrs. Day, yes, master. She stepped forward, bowing. Mr. Jeon, there will be no work for the staff tomorrow evening. I want everyone, including the maids, to attend the function. It was a celebration for the entire Jeon household. Consider it a holiday for all of you. A collective gasp of surprise whispered through the line of maids. Mrs. Day bowed deeply. Thank you, master. We are honored. The sun rose over the Jeon estate, casting a golden glow that felt different from the usual glow structure's morning. Inside the grand hall, the atmosphere was buzzing with an energy that hadn't been felt in years. Mrs. Day, today you are all officially off duty, she announced, her voice barely carrying over the immediate wave of excited whispers and giggles that erupted among the maids. Mrs. Day silenced. I am not finished, she barked. though there was a hint of a rare small smile playing at the corners of her mouth. The room went quite instantly. The master has invited you all to attend the function as a guest. However, do not forget who you are, maintain your decorum, stay within the designated areas, and do not cause any trouble. Aside from that, enjoy the food and the evening. Don't worry, ma'am, we will be on our best behavior. Back in the dormitory, the air was thick with the scent of perfume and hairspray. You stood by the door, watching in fascination as Juha and Yana scurried around their small room. Juha, I think I should wear my red dress tonight, she mused, holding a crimson fabric against her chest. It makes me look taller. Yana, I'm focusing purely on my hair, she said, struggling with a curling iron. She glanced at you, who was just standing there. Wyatt, what are you going to wear? You looked down at your hands, your shoulders dropping slightly. Wyatt, I don't really know. I don't think I have anything nice enough for a palace party. Yana, check your things again, she urged. There must be something. So up over to your small shape, you shifted your few belongings until your hand brushed against the soft silky texture you had almost forgotten. It was the dress you had given you on that final day, the one that had made you so happy because it was new. You pulled it out and the light hit the fabric, making it shimmer. Look, Eunice, I have this one. The room went dead silent. Juha dropped her red dress and Yana's curling iron rarely slipped from her hand. They both rushed over, grabbing the hem of the garment. Juha, no way, she whispered, her eyes wide. Is it a door? Yana, how on earth do you have a designer piece like this? She gasped, stressing the intricate stitching and the high-end label. The cut, the fabric, it's stunning. This costs more than we make in a year. You being confused by the reaction. Once you give it to me, she said. It was for me to wear when I move. I will wear this then. For the next hour, the two girls worked on you like it was their own personal project. They brushed out your tangled hair until it fell in soft, silky waves down your back. They applied just a touch of tint to your lips and cheeks, highlighting your natural, doll-like glow. Finally, they helped you slip into the dress. It fit you perfectly, cinching at your small waist and flowing down in a way that made you look ethereal, like a forest princess lost in a stone castle. Yana, wait, wine, she said, her voice turning serious as they reached the door. She gripped your shoulder. One more thing. Don't do anything strange tonight. Stay close to us. There will be very powerful, very dangerous people there. Just stay quiet and keep your eyes down, okay? You nodded earnestly, your heart thumping with a mix of excitement and nerves. Wine, I will be very careful, Rinny, I promise. Jungkook stood in what he considered the most agonizing corner of it, a luxury-loving ballroom. Around him, the air was thick with the scent of expensive perfume and the shadow chatter of socialites. His parents were going, shaking hands and waving alliances as if they weren't bargaining away his time. Every girl in the room was a predator, their eyes tracking his every move, hungry for a glance or a word from the underworld's most irresistible air. Jungkook, how did I end up here? He muttered. He just died. He was moments away from walking out when something caught his eye near the grand entrance. A group of girls entered, but one figure stood out like a stray diamond in a pile of glass. His breath hissed, those eyes wide, shimmering and filled with a frantic kind of caution were the same ones that had haunted him in the hallway the night before. You walked as if you were moving through a field of landmines, your every step deliberate and careful. You looked breathtaking in the drear dress, though you seemed completely unaware of the heads turning in your direction. It was a vision of innocence in a room full of sins. Before he could move toward you, a sharp, crowing voice sliced through his thoughts. Yoonbi, hi Jungkook, it's been a while. Have you forgotten me already? Jim turned to see Yoonbi, a former classmate who had spent her college years claiming to be his girlfriend. She was draped in silk and arrogance. Jungkook, how do you want, Yoonbi? He asked, his voice dripping with ice. Yoonbi To marry you, of course, she smirked, leaning in closer. Jungkook, in your dream, I don't like you and I never will. Give it up. Yunbi didn't flinch. Instead, she pointed toward the center of the room where their fathers were laughing and clinking glasses. Yunbi, your father seems to disagree. Look how well he is getting along with mine. The deal is already half done. A surge of white hot rays flared in Jungkook's chest. She didn't stay to hear another word, storming off in the opposite direction. A few minutes later, the music died down. Mr. Jung stepped onto the podium, and the microphone hum echoing through the Senate hall. Mr. John Jungkook, his father got up, spotting him. Come here, have you finally made a choice? Or are you going to keep us waiting all night? Jungkook, I'm not interested in anyone here, he replied, loud enough for those nearby to hear. Mr. Jin, I won't have you making a sense, he whispered harshly as Jungkook approached. If you won't choose, I will, and you know the rules. Once I declare it, there is no turning back. He turned back to the crowd, his voice booming with authority. Mr. Jian, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us on this momentous night. After much deliberation, I am proud to announce the future of the Jian legacy. I have selected Yunbi, the daughter of my oldest friend, to be my son's bride. The room erupted in applause. Yunbi beamed, stepping forward to claim her prize, but before she could reach him, Jungkook's voice cut through the celebration like a knife. Wait, the crowd froze. I already have someone in mind, Jungkook said, his eyes scanning the room until they locked onto a small figure near the buffet table. He was beat Yunji's stuff with a small appetizer, looking completely lost in the grandeur. Suddenly, the sea of people parted. Jungkook marched straight toward you. He started strong and possessive. Before you could even swallow, you felt a large warm hand wrap around yours. Jungkook pulled you toward him, dragging you into the center of the spotlight. Your heart nearly stopped. You had no idea what was happening. You looked up at him. You looked so small with him, your eyes wide with a mix of confusion and pure terror. Jungkook looked his father dead in the eye, his grip on yours hand tightening. Jungkook, meet my future wife, he declared. The silence of the forest was deafening. The gaze beamed to whisper, their eyes scanning your face, trying to figure out which allied family you belong to. Mr. Jones' face turned a dangerous shadow of crimson, his face clenching at his sides. He was trapped. He couldn't embrace the family by arguing in front of his business rivals. Sensing the impending explosion, Mrs. Jones stepped in. Her voice smooth and practiced. Mrs. Jones, a surprise indeed. Please everyone, let's move to the dining hall. Dinner is served. The last of the luxury cars had vanished into the night, leaving the Jian mansion in a deafening heavy silence. The glittering ballroom, once filled with the elite, now felt like a hollow theater. The music had died, but the air was still filled with the scent of the storm Jungkook had just unleashed. Only the Jian family and a few dozen servants remained. In the center of the hall, you stood like a porcelain doll, caught in the middle of a battlefield. You didn't understand the words, but you felt the heat of the anger vibrating through the room. Mr. John, do you have even the slightest grasp of what you did tonight? His voice broke, booming against the high ceiling like a clap of thunder. He marched toward his son, his face contorted with a mixture of shock and little fury. Jungkook stood his ground, his hands casually shoved into his pocket, his expression as calm as a frozen lake. Jungkook, what did I do? I did exactly what you asked. You said I could choose anyone I liked. I chose. Mr. John, I meet a woman of status, the daughter of an ally. He roared, gesturing wildly toward you, who praised at the sudden movement. Not a maid, Jungkook. You just for the most powerful families in the country. That is servant, a girl who kills her force, is the future queen of this organization. Jungkook, I don't care about her status. He replied, his voice a dangerous vibration. I followed your rule. To the letter, you gave me the power to decide. And I decided. Mrs. Jeon stepped forward, her silk gown rustling as she placed a trembling hand on Jungkook's arm. Mrs. Jeon, Jungkook nodded. Listen to reason. It's not too late. We can call it a misunderstanding, a temporary lapse in judgment. Just change your mind. Tell them it was a mistake. Jungkook looked down at his mother's hand and then directly into his father's eyes. A full, stubborn-eyed figure in his gaze. Jungkook, I don't change my mind, he said, each word dripping with finality. I said what I said. She is the one. Without another word, he turned on his heel and walked toward the grand staircase, his heavy boots echoing with the sound of a cruising trap. Mr. Jeon let out a shocked sound of rage and stormed out in the opposite direction, heading toward his study to find a way to fix the unfixable. Mrs. Jeon lingered for a moment, casting one last, horrified look at you before rushing after her husband. He was left alone, and the Cinderella Palace now felt like a terrifying maze. You looked down at her beautiful dress, the fabric that had made you so happy just hours ago. Now it felt heavy like a shower. You stood in the middle of the empty ballroom, your heart thumping painfully against your ribs, wondering why the prince had chosen a girl who didn't even know how to read his name.